Hey, what's going on, guys? Just like the title of this video says, I'm trying to become a better athlete. And in my opinion, there is no better way to do that than sprinting. So, working on my dog shit sprint mechanics, working with some experts that are going to help me a little bit. I've never really devoted a lot of time to sprint mechanics or anything like that. I just sprint because I have to for rugby, but I actually want to try to become a better sprinter, better athlete. Working on this easy bar curl here is some volume work, the 45 on each side of the easy bar. On the pull days, I'm actually starting with that instead of a pull-up or a row, which would usually be backwards for me. But because I'm prioritizing the strength in that, I am then going to the compound movement as volume work, which is kind of interesting. Seated broads, tons of those, tons of reactive jumping. Hip is still iffy, not the greatest, especially when these were filmed here. So tendon-driven reactive jumps, floor is lava type thing. So trying to get up off the ground as quick as possible. That transfers over very nicely to all athletics. We got our banded incline. You guys know what I'm trying to do with that. Trying to build up that 300-pound incline press. We got some RDL action here. The hip actually likes it. Lightweight, 295, triples. Moving fast. Not really getting a huge strength or hypertrophy stimulus out of that. Just kind of trying to maintain, if you will. We got some tricep extensions. Trying to build that up. These were 40s. Did a bunch of sets of 8 with it. We got some therapeutic work for the hip here. Very low box step-ups, kind of just trying to get the quad some knee extension there. We got push press, one of my absolute favorite lifts. I definitely think it transfers over to sports, especially contact sports, very well. Pair that with the power cleans here again. Nothing that's going to elicit a massive stimulus, just maintaining here, guys. This workout was right before we went on our big trip, our big family vacation. I had bits and pieces throughout the course of the day to run out and get some stuff done. We had a ton of stuff to do, so I did some overhead presses. I did some goblet squats. These were all like separate little 10-minute blocks of time, by the way. And then I did some straight weight volume work on the incline. The reason that I didn't do accommodating resistance is because I knew where I was going. Obviously, you're not going to be able to set up bands and chains and stuff like that. So I thought lead into a tiny little microcycle of the straight weight. And that's exactly what I did. I hit 3 sets of 7 with 225 in the incline press. That was my third little block of time during this day that I accomplished that. You'll see on these goblet squats here, my brain is telling me to actually push the butt back first instead of drive the knees forward and stay upright. The hip actually seems to like that a lot better, which is not at all how I squat. I'm a very upright, high bar, front squatter, Olympic, squatter type of guy, very quad dominant, not at all posterior chain dominant, low bar mechanics ever. But again, I'm just trying to maintain that movement pattern for what it's worth while the hip is healing. Here's my my goofy straight weight set here. I hit the pin there. I would have gotten it for 8. I was kind of frustrated with that. But it is what it is. The next workouts you guys will see are in beautiful Belize. Lucky for me, there was a gym there, so was able to use it. Did a bunch of speed pulls here, speed doubles at 315. Didn't have straps, so I hook gripped it, which I realized is absolute trash for me. I do not have a good hook grip. I do not have a good strapless deadlift, which is kind of funny. I think I did 12 doubles at 315 as fast as possible in this workout. Did some overhead press. I did some other stuff which wasn't taped because there's other people in there and I feel like a dork taping myself. I did some jumping. I'm sure you guys, if you saw the short, saw this. just again, trying to maintain reactive qualities. I did all kinds of different variations of jumping, all of which I've been exposed to before. So it's not like I'm moving the needle that much with it. Did some leg press here, maxed out their machine for a bunch of sets of 8. Actually did give me some good glute, adductor, and quad soreness the next day. So I was happy with that. All these workouts were day on, day off, by the way. So, and they were all planned around family stuff and events and anything like that. And it is what it is. You guys know my thoughts on workouts on vacations. You can do them, you cannot do them. Obviously, I want to keep what I got going. And I have a very supportive wife. So I'm thankful that she doesn't care if I go lift weights and this kind of thing, because she knows it's good for my mental health. We got some standing overhead presses here. Just did a bunch of sets of 5 with it. Nothing too crazy. They had a little preacher curl deal, so I did some preacher curls. Preacher curls is kind of scary because you feel like the torque going through that bicep tendon when it's in that lengthened position. And I just feel like the torque isn't like distributed where it needs to be distributed in the bicep. Son wanted to run it straight a couple of times on the beach, so I'm never going to say no to that, obviously. Loving it. Pause reps, like I said, no band and chain, elaborate setups or anything here. Just good old flat bench, straight weight. This was pause reps at 245. I worked my way all the way up to 4x4, actually at 275, not all pause reps. Some of them were touch and goes, but I was actually very, very happy with that. This is from as recent as today. Some of this stuff is going to look super corny and goofy, but again, trying to build a better athlete. So reactive jumping, deep tier plyo work. This is stuff that I don't do all the time. Rhythmic jumping, stuff that I'm not maximally bracing for and sending it and stuff like that. Just kind of lighter effort type stuff, ankle stiffness, Achilles tendon stiffness, and honestly hip flexor mobility, because as you'll see, these squats I did with just the bar, I'm butt winking at the bottom, which is not typical for me. So super tight hip flexors, super tight adductors, all this kind of stuff. Ankles, not the greatest, just because I haven't been exposed to this stimulus in a while. So, we're healing the hip. We're trying to stay as athletic as possible. Good rate of force development. This will round out the rest of the straight weight block, and I'll be going back into accommodating resistance. I hit 4 sets of 7 with 2 1/4 here in the incline. This was the last set of 7. In the 7th rep, actually, I had to try a little bit to get it, so was happy with that. I'm honestly happy with the strength right now. Haven't tested any 1RMs or anything like that. An incline, I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to try to be building up my weighted pull-up again. My all-time best is 245s and a 2.5 at a body weight of 203. Again, I'm not a math major. Right now, I'm good and fat from the vacation. Weighed in at a whopping 208 with shoes on. But I got a 45 and a 25, barely got the chin above the bar. Then did some drop set volume here with a 25. Very weak. Not very happy with that. And then I did some volume work of curls. Didn't want to do easy bar curls because I got some fun stuff coming, and I didn't want to exhaust my back for it with the standing. This, if you guys want to take a look, is what we got going for the foreseeable future, next couple of months. So we're going to buckle in. It's going to be fun, and we are going to prioritize athleticism, sprinting, jumping, all that kind of stuff over everything else at all costs for my aging, washed up 35-year-old ass. As always, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for watching.